Hello, I want to talk to you today about cassava flour as an alternative to gluten, rice, oat, almond, and coconut flour. You may not have heard of it. It comes from a root known as the yucca or manioc root. You can see the root here. Um, it is a whole food flour. It's the same root that tapioca is made from, tapioca starch, but the cassava flour is the whole root containing the fiber and the protein, not just the starch, which the tapioca is. I ran across this early on when I was trying traditional cooking and was actually trying to make um, pitas, breads, uh, different starch products using the actual root. But the trouble with using the actual root is the prep time and getting high quality cassava root in the States that has not been bruised and is not damaged to get the fresh root. And um, so I went to the flour, but the flour tends to produce a little bit of a chalky product. So my favorite way to use cassava flour is to combine it with plantains. Now, plantains are like bananas, only starchier and bigger. The advantage of using plantain with your cassava flour is that the plantain adds sweetness. It also helps the dough be less crumbly. It makes it a more cohesive dough, and it gives the product pliability if you're making something like a tortilla. And I use them in about a 1-to-1 ratio, about a cup of cooked plantain mashed up with a cup of the cassava flour. And I have successfully done biscuits, bread, muffins, tortillas, pancakes using this combination. It's a lower glycemic combination than your typical gluten-free flours on the market. The plantain offers a really good kind of starch for the microbiome called resistant starch. And the cassava has the benefit of being able to just be used in a 1-to-1 ratio as in recipes as a replacement for all-purpose flour. So I will share some recipes with you. It is a great combination. Cassava, because it comes from a root, not a grain, is great for grain-free diets. It's great for diabetic diets because it has the fiber in it and is not just straight starch. And it is very low uh, vulnerability to sensitivities. It's what you would call a hypoallergenic product. So there you have it. That is cassava flour and how I like to use it. Thanks for joining me.